I talk really quickly, so this will be a literal change of pace. But I I do something called social marketing. It's basically the exact same thing as traditional marketing, except rather than try and sell you a product for financial gain, I'm trying to sell you on a good or healthy behavior, something that is good for you or good for the people around you or just the world in general. In order to do that, just like with any marketing, I have to get your attention long enough for you to let me give you a good reason why you should listen to me. I can stand up here all day and say, don't smoke, it's bad for you. That's not going to do anything. You've heard it before. I haven't told you why it's bad for you or how to stop smoking. I could. I have that information. It's out there. But in order to do that, I need more of your time and more of your attention, and that's not easy to get. Although while I'm up here, please don't smoke. It's really, really bad for you. I work for this organization, a Step Ahead Foundation. Right? I know. We provide the most effective methods of reversible birth control, absolutely free to any woman in Memphis, and also in other places in Tennessee. It's awesome. But a lot of people don't know about us, and in order to tell someone about something, you have to get them to listen to you, and also they have to be willing to talk about it, and that's where it gets really tricky for us, because we really don't like to talk about birth control. A lot of times when you say birth control, people's minds automatically go to sex, and we really, really don't want to talk about sex. Makes people very uncomfortable. Some of you are probably really uncomfortable. Specific apologies to my mom. Hi, Mom. But also, we needed a way to change this conversation, to create a more comfortable and familiar place to start the conversation about birth control and family planning. And one way to do that is by associating your message with something people love. And what does Memphis love? Basketball. So when you bring in something people love to the conversation, it can change the whole dialogue and open minds. So I'm going to look at an example. I want you to think about how this makes you feel. Here I know, we have an objectively great product, but also an association with an incredibly trying time in Memphis history. And if you're like me, you flash back to tears and screaming and yelling and swearing that that foot was on the damn line. But here, with a simple rebrand and a new association with something Memphis loves, we see the same great player being cheered for by the very people whose hearts he once crushed into tiny, tiny little pieces. And that's the power of positive association. And so at A Step Ahead, we do a lot of small events, and we invite people to come hear about our cause. But a while back, my team and I, we started thinking about how to get more people through the door, and we came back to this concept of what do people love. And so we hosted this free watch party at Ghost River Tap Room for a Grizzlies game last spring. And guys, we had about 80 people show up just to watch some basketball and at some point hear me stand on a chair and tell them about birth control. And it was awesome. I think the beer probably helped too, but it was free. It was open to the public. So Ghost River had some regular customers in there who had absolutely no idea what was going on. And as I'm setting up earlier in the night, there's this group of what could only be described as just straight up college bros, and they're giving me weird looks. And I'm setting up this sign which had we had post-it notes for people to fill in the blank. And finally, these dudes come up and they're just like, "What are you doing? And what is this weird-ass sign? And why are you wearing a Grizzlies jersey?" And so through this baffling combination of beer and basketball and birth control, I was able to reach these dudes who 100% would have never come to an event that was just like, I'm going to talk about birth control. So it was great. And so we kept running with this Grizzlies theme. And later that spring, Coach Fizdale sparked this awesome catchphrase. And man, we just ran with it. I think within like 20 minutes of that press conference, I'm like texting my coworkers, and we had this Snapchat filter made, and it did so well. And I had so many friends text me and just be like, "Man, Kelly, you've done a lot of weird things, but this is a really strange thing you did. But also, I didn't know that about your organization." And often it was something that I had said 5 million times, but finally in this new context, it stuck. And so we're not special. We're not the only nonprofit or business to do something like this, to tie in sports or citywide hype to their message. But I think sometimes people get so scared off by the idea that something is seemingly so far off from what they do that it won't resonate with their audience. And to that I say, if we can tie birth control to basketball, then give it a shot. You can make it work. But yeah, before I leave, I just want to give a heartfelt thank you to Coach Fisdale for all of his hard work reducing rates of unintended pregnancy in Memphis. So thanks, Coach, and go Grizz.